Thanks for tuning in. This Monday afternoon, we are live and breaking. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's take a look at the top headlines from across the globe. Imran Khan to contest by-elections for 33 seats, challenges Shehbaz Sharif now. Olaf Scholz makes a big statement, says Germany will not send fighter jets to Ukraine. Thai Nicholas' brutal murder becomes top focus, protests erupt across the country. Boris claims missile threat by Putin in an extraordinary phone call. Top American Air Force General predicts US and China will go to war in 2025. Former President Donald Trump kickstarts campaign trail, race to 2024 now heats up in the US. Alright, we start with the news break coming in. Inside details of the all-party meet which is taking place, being chaired by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi as we speak. In fact, inside details that are just coming in that the YSRCP has demanded a caste-based economic consensus of all backward communities in the country. So YSRCP demanding for a caste-based economic census of all backward communities in the country. Also going on to add that JDU has extended support to the demand that has been made by the YSRCP MP Vijay Sai Reddy. In fact, he goes on to say, and I quote, that as 50% of the population belongs to backward classes, which is why caste census should take place to find out the status of education, medical facilities and economic status for the downtrodden, for the underprivileged. Piyush Mishra getting us those inside details. So Piyush, if you can take us through, the key demand that's been made by the YSRCP essentially, because we understand that the JDU has also extended support to the YSRCP now.
Well, absolutely, Samiksha, this is what we are now learning. JDU has extended support to the demand of YSRCP. Remember that all-party meeting of all the opposition political parties is right now underway in Parliament, and that during that meet, YSRCP has demanded a new thing in which they have said that caste-based economic census should take place. Remember that the government of Bihar, led by JDU, in fact, is already doing caste-based census, and JDU has come out in support of YSRCP. So that's a different demand, and in this demand, YSRCP has made additional demand that not only caste-based census should take place, but their economic status, their medical facilities, and also the educational status of all the backward communities should be affected, and that is why this caste-based census is very much important. In fact, they have also said that the state governments cannot do this. It is a job of central government, and they should do this as soon as possible to know the status of all the backward communities across the country. Now the politics on this is also taking place. The JDU has come out and supported this. So far, RJD, which are also part of this all-party meeting, has not supported this. Not only caste-based census demand has been put forward by YSRCP, but YSRCP is also demanding that government must come up with women's reservation bill in this session. That is also an additional demand which has been put forth by YSRCP. Now we'll have to wait and watch how the government is going to react on this. But yes, that's a fresh demand coming in from YSRCP just ahead of the elections in the state, where it is now demanding that caste-based economic census should take place to ascertain the economic status of all backward communities across the country.
Piyush Mishra, thank you for taking us through the latest on that. In fact, just to tell our viewers, the crucial all-party meet which is underway as we speak, being chaired by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister. Of course, a very crucial all-party meet which has now been skipped by the Congress party. The meet which comes just ahead of the budget session that would take place tomorrow. A key address that would be made by President Draupadi Murmu addressing both the houses of the Parliament. Also remember, economic survey report will also be presented in the Parliament tomorrow. Meanwhile, the latest on the Russia-Ukraine war, which rages on, President Zelensky gave an update on the military situation in the country's south and the east on Sunday during his daily video address. Zelensky stated that the situation at the front was very tough, with constant Russian attacks in the Donetsk region.
During his daily video address, Ukraine President Zelensky said that the situation at the front was very tough, with constant Russian attacks in the Donetsk region.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці. Провів сьогодні чергове засідання Ставки. Основна увага, звичайно, ситуація на фронті. Передусім на Донеччині та на південних напрямках. Ситуація дуже жорстка. Бахмутський, Вугледарський та інші напрямки в Донецькій області – це постійні російські штурми, постійні намагання прорвати нашу оборону.
The Donetsk town of Bakhmut and surrounding areas have been the scene of some of the fiercest battles since the beginning of the Russian invasion. Zelensky also added Russian forces had been shelling Kherson all day and that various locations, including residential buildings and a hospital, had been damaged.
Російська армія по-звірячому обстрілює Херсон. Пошкоджені житлові будинки, різні соціальні та транспортні об'єкти, лікарня, пошта, автостанція. В лікарні обстрілом поранено 2 жінок, медичних сестричок. Загалом станом на цей час є повідомлення про 6 поранених і 3 загиблих.
He has also stated that there were reports of 3 deaths and 6 wounded in Kherson. Agency report for Republic TV.
Alright, to more news break coming in, this one from the national capital where pro-Khalistan graffiti has been spotted in West Delhi. So a hate graffiti that's been scribbled on the walls in the national capital, this of course being in the West Delhi area. Piyush Ori joining us for the latest on that. Piyush, if you can give us more details on this hate graffiti that's been spotted on the walls in Western Delhi area.
So you pointed out rightly, Samiksha, that on January 19, just a few days prior to Republic Day, there were some very provocative anti-national graffitis that had come in areas of West Delhi. And yesterday, that is July 29th, the special cell unit of the Delhi police made 2 arrests in this case. Now the 2 arrests that have been made in this case were identified as Vikramjit and Balram. Now, what we've also come to know is that these 2 people in turn were in touch with a person known as Gurpreet, who belonged from an organization called Sikh for Justice, the activities of which is already known of how they are making anti-national and pro-Khalistani statements in foreign countries. In fact, the founder of this organization is also known as Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, who's already facing a trial under NIA. So yes, some very sinister activities have come to fore of how anti-national and pro-Khalistani slogans were being raised in national capital, and the starting of this was being done by these 2 people who were working as drivers and was being paid by the Sikh for Justice organization, and the main task of these 2 people were to paint graffitis. The CCTV images also now have been retrieved by the Republic. Back to in the studio.
Piyush, just a follow-up question. Have those accused been arrested as of now? Have they been taken into custody by the Delhi police?
So yes, Samisha, these 2 accused have been arrested by the special unit of Delhi police. In fact, they were arrested yesterday only on January 29th, and now the probe is also on by the Delhi police of who all associates are aiding them. Because as what we have come to know is that these 2 may be just 2 very small pawns, and there may be a much bigger and complex network in play that may be supported by the Sikh for Justice, a Khalistani organization. Back to the studio.
All right, Piyush, thank you for taking us through the latest. So from what it appears, it could be a sinister plot because remember, Khalistani elements have also been vandalizing several of those temples in Melbourne, and the latest, of course, coming in that 2 accused have been arrested for that hate graffiti that was scribbled in the West Delhi area. Piyush, of course, telling us that the accused have now been arrested by the Delhi police, but remains to be seen whether it is a deeper nexus here of those Khalistani elements which seem to be on a free run across in several of the countries, including Melbourne and now in the national capital. So we'll try and get more details on what has really been probed so far in connection with these hate graffitis that have been scribbled in those walls in West Delhi. Remember, hate graffitis have already been scribbled in several of those temples in Melbourne. We have BJP's Manjinder Singh Sirsa also. Sir, good afternoon. Thank you for speaking to the public. If I could get your response, why do you think these kind of Khalistani elements seem to be on a free run in several countries? The latest, of course, being in Melbourne, and another recent incident coming to light from the national capital where these hate graffiti have been scribbled on the walls in West Delhi area.
तो देखिए, पहली बात तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई बहुत लोग हैं। कुछ लोग जो जिनको आईएसआई और सिख फॉर जस्टिस को जो पैसे मिलते हैं, वो कुछ लोगों को जो बेरोजगार हैं, जरूरतमंद है, उसको किसी को पैसे देके कहा कि तुम ऐसा कर दो, मैं तुम्हें इतने पैसे दूंगा, तो उनके चक्कर में, लालसा में आकर वो ऐसा कर जाते हैं। और जहां तक आपने देखा मेलबोर्न के अंदर, ये सारे यंगस्टर्स जो थे जिन्होंने ये वहां पर झंडा भी फाड़ा और लोगों से लड़ाई झगड़ा भी किया, ये पेड स्टूच हैं, खालिस्तान के नाम से लड़ रहे हैं और इनको कोई इनका मकसद नहीं है। इनका मकसद केवल इनको पेमेंट मिली है, इनको पैसे मिले हैं, बस यही इनका मकसद है। इससे ज्यादा इनका कोई मकसद नहीं है। ना तो इनको पता है किस लिए लड़ रहे हैं, ना इनको कोई बात का पता है। और ये सारी पेमेंट जो है आईएसआई पिछले लंबे समय से करती है। कनाडा में भी यही काम कर रहे थे, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी यही कर रहे हैं। इनमें से कोई भी आदमी आपको या तो समझदार दिखाई देगा, ना ये दिखाई देगा। तो ये सब जो है स्टूडेंट्स के तौर पर गए हैं, इनसे पैसे देकर ऐसा काम कराया जाता है। और इनके माँ बाप भी जो है इस देश में, वह भी भारत के अंदर ही बसते हैं और उनके अंदर भी कोई ऐसी भावना नहीं है भारत के खिलाफ।
Sir, just a follow-up question. What do you think should be the course of action here? Because let's not forget there's been hate graffiti in Punjab as well. How can we stop these growing activities of the Khalistani elements in the country, and of course the latest in Melbourne as well?
Need to take a stringent action against them. If you talk about Australia, the Australia government should take action against them. I have been told that one of them has been arrested. I think nobody should be spared when it comes to the law and order situation. So once this government need to take action against them, and as far as India is concerned, definitely government is taking a strict action and nobody will be spared. They are trying to harm our social thread, the social harmony. They are trying to spread a hate among the people. So this cannot be tolerated at any cost, and no Sikh is with them.
Well, absolutely. So yes, Manjinder Singh Sirsa there calling for stringent action against the pro-Khalistani elements. Of course, remember in the latest that we're getting to know is that pro-Khalistani graffiti that was scribbled on the walls of the West Delhi area. A very short break, but news breaks to continue on the other side. Indian citizens targeted in Melbourne, Indians with Tiranga attacked by pro-Khalistan forces. And history scripted as Indian women cricket team wins inaugural Under-19 World Cup.
A day after the budget session, a day before the budget session, the centre calls for key meeting of all parties. A car rams into a pedestrian and flees hit and run is caught on camera. Ten students are suspended in Rajasthan allegedly after the BBC documentary screening. Condolences pour in, state honour to be given to Odisha's health minister. History is scripted as the Indian women cricket team wins the inaugural Under-19 World Cup. And Germany beats Belgium, lifts the Hockey World Cup trophy for the third time. Another hit-and-run case has been caught on camera in Bengaluru. Reportedly, a man rammed his black Benz and into a pedestrian and fled from the spot. The victim, around 40 years old, died on the spot and has not yet been identified. 10 students of the Central University of Rajasthan in Ajmer district have been suspended for 2 weeks after they allegedly gathered on the campus to watch the controversial BBC documentary. The Odisha government has announced that a state honour will be accorded to Nabakishore Das, the Health and Family Welfare Minister who died hours after being shot by a policeman. Sources claim that there will be no official entertainment for the next 3 days. That's from the 29th to the 31st of January throughout the state. The decision of the Shiva Sena symbol is likely to be taken by the Election Commission today. Arguments between the Shinde and the Thackeray factions have been going on for 2 days earlier, as well as where the Election Commission had sought a written reply from both the groups. A Dalit man in Karnataka has been tied up and beaten allegedly for stealing coffee. Sources claim that the plantation owner, along with 4 others, got the victim named Manju, tied his hands and feet and thrashed him mercilessly. Indian women scripted history as India became the first ever ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup winners on Sunday. The BRS Parliamentary Party has expressed serious allegations against the central government. Sources claim that the BRS President and the Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has directed its party MPs to expose the centre's anti-people policies. The Grandmaster Anish Giri has won the Tata Steel Masters 2023, playing with a truly dominant form. Anish scored an unbeaten 88.5 over 13 to clinch the first place.
When we were reporting from that area, people were really scared. They saw these goons running all over the place, and some of these goons have been apprehended, including that Trinamool Congress leader, Guddu Khan, who is the person who is behind all this.
Alright, we start with the news break coming in from Tamil Nadu, where the DMK MP TR Balu has landed himself in yet another controversy with the controversial remarks he has made. This time he said that he's personally ordered, in fact, the demolishing of 300-year-old temples. Well, that's the remark that's been made by DMK MP TR Balu, who says, I know how to get votes, and that he has personally ordered demolition of 3 old temples. And remember, this is in fact not the first time that the DMK MP has made such controversial remarks. He's been known for making several anti-Hindu remarks. The latest, of course, he's saying that he knows how to get votes and that he personally ordered demolition of 300-year-old temples. We'll just play out that soundbite of the DMK MP TR Balu, where he made this controversial remarks while he was addressing an event. He says, and I quote, "I've personally ordered the demolition of 300-year-old temples." Let's listen into that controversial remark.
Saraswati Koyal, Lakshmi Koyal, no Koyal, Saraswati Lakshmi, no Karam, Bharati Koyal. The Moon Koyal, Yan Tomil, these road the body of the Moon Kai Katipan, and the Moon Koyal and Nana. Then what to Varan tell you? And I vote every Varan other thing. So what to Varadi.
Have Varshini joining us for the latest on that. Varshini, we just heard that soundbite of the DMK MP making those controversial remarks. Not the first time, of course, that the DMK MP has made an anti-Hindu remark. But take us through, how exactly has he gone on to justify such a stand, one, and what are the reactions that have been coming in from several of those Tamil Nadu leaders? All right, before we go across to Varshini, we have Narayan Tirupati joining us. Sir, good afternoon. If you heard that soundbite by the DMK MP, who's gone on to say that he personally ordered demolition of Hindu temples, this is not the first time that this DMK MP TR Balu has made this such anti-Hindu remarks.
Yes, this is really condemnable, and Mr. TR Balu, who is a very senior politician, was having a very big pride in saying that he has demolished 100-year-old temples, and so many temples, he says, Lakshmi and Saraswati temple, everything he says that he feels very proud, and it is really highly atrocious. And also he says that by demolishing these temples, he knows that votes will not come, but he also said that he knows how to get those votes.
Yes.
So he thinks people are fools. So he says that people are fools even if I, demolish their beliefs and trust, and people will vote for them also, and they know how to purchase votes. That's what.
And sir, this is in fact a reaction that has come in from TK's Ellen Govan, who's responded to this controversy, saying that this is dirty politics being played by the BJP, and that he was a highways minister back then, which is precisely why he had to order the demolition of these temples.
No, that's what I say. If at all he had felt, he should have regretted for what he should have said. I regret for demolishing the temple, though it is for the benefit of the people, for roads and other things. But he did not say. He was very happy. He was saying that with a very big pleasure, saying that I have demolished 100-year-old temples also. That's what he was hailing himself. That was the thing. And he also said that if anybody teases my chief minister or Veeramani, the Dravidar Karagam, he will chop off their hands. That's what he has said. So Mr. TR Balu, or whether it is R.S. Bharati, organizing secretary of DMK.
All right, we'll have to leave it at that. Narayan Tirupati there of the BJP responding to this controversy. The remarks that have been made by the DMK MP, where he said that he knows how to get votes and that he personally ordered demolition of temples.
To present its last budget session, as India stands on the cusp of economic greatness, how important would this budget session be? It is all going to be known from the consensus and the meetings that is going to be held by the government with the Council of Ministers. Stay tuned to Republic Media Network as we give you minute-to-minute update as India prepares for its yet another budget session. Stay tuned to Republic Media Network. See you on the other side of the break.
When we were reporting from that area, people were really scared. They saw these goons running all over the place, and some of these goons have been apprehended, including that Trinamool Congress leader, Guddu Khan, who is the person who is behind all this according to our local sources. There is no police in that area, and how that same person can have close photographs with one state minister and then no one has answered.
A day after the budget session, a day before the budget session, the centre calls for key meeting of all parties. A car rams into a pedestrian and flees hit and run is caught on camera. Ten students are suspended in Rajasthan allegedly after the BBC documentary screening. Condolences pour in state honour to be given to Odisha's health minister. History is scripted as the Indian women cricket team wins the inaugural Under-19 World Cup. And Germany beats Belgium, lifts the Hockey World Cup trophy for the third time. Another hit-and-run case has been caught on camera in Bengaluru. Reportedly, a man rammed his black Benz and into a pedestrian and fled from the spot. The victim, around 40 years old, died on the spot and has not yet been identified. 10 students of the Central University of Rajasthan in Ajmer district have been suspended for 2 weeks after they allegedly gathered on the campus to watch the controversial BBC documentary. The Odisha government has announced that a state honour will be accorded to Kishore Das, the Health and Family Welfare Minister who died hours after being shot by a policeman. Sources claim that there will be no official entertainment for the next 3 days. That's from the 29th to the 31st of January throughout the state. The decision of the Shiva Sena symbol is likely to be taken by the Election Commission today. Arguments between the Shinde and the Thackeray factions have been going on for 2 days earlier, as well as where the Election Commission had sought a written reply from both the groups. A Dalit man in Karnataka has been tied up and beaten allegedly for stealing coffee. Sources claim that the plantation owner, along with 4 others, got the victim named Manju, tied his hands and feet and thrashed him mercilessly. Indian women scripted history as India became the first ever ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup winners on Sunday. The BRS Parliamentary Party has expressed serious allegations against the central government. Sources claim that the BRS President and the Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has directed its party MPs to expose the centre's anti-people policies. The Grandmaster Anish Giri has won the Tata Steel Masters 2023, playing with a truly dominant form. Anish scored an unbeaten 88.5 over 13 to clinch the first place.
When we were reporting from that area, people were really scared. They saw these goons running all over the place, and some of these goons have been apprehended, including that Trinamool Congress leader, Guddu Khan, who is the person who is behind all this according to our local sources. There is no police in that area, and how that same person can have close photographs with one state minister and then no one has answered.
A day before the budget session, the centre calls for key meeting of all parties. A car rams into a pedestrian and flees hit and run is caught on camera. Ten students are suspended in Rajasthan allegedly after the BBC documentary screening. Condolences pour in, state honour to be given to Odisha's health minister. History is scripted as the Indian women cricket team wins the inaugural Under-19 World Cup. And Germany beats Belgium, lifts the Hockey World Cup trophy for the 3rd time. Another hit-and-run case has been caught on camera in Bengaluru. Reportedly, a man rammed his black Benz and into a pedestrian and fled from the spot. The victim, around 40 years old, died on the spot and has not yet been identified. 10 students of the Central University of Rajasthan in Ajmer district have been suspended for 2 weeks after they allegedly gathered on the campus to watch the controversial BBC documentary. The Odisha government has announced that a state honour will be accorded to Kishore Das, the Health and Family Welfare Minister who died hours after being shot by a policeman. Sources claim that there will be no official entertainment for the next 3 days. That's from the 29th to the 31st of January throughout the state. The decision of the Shiva Sena symbol is likely to be taken by the Election Commission today. Arguments between the Shinde and the Thackeray factions have been going on for 2 days earlier, as well as where the Election Commission had sought a written reply from both the groups. A Dalit man in Karnataka has been tied up and beaten allegedly for stealing coffee. Sources claim that the plantation owner, along with 4 others, got the victim named Manju, tied his hands and feet and thrashed him mercilessly. Indian women scripted history as India became the first ever ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup winners on Sunday. The BRS Parliamentary Party has expressed serious allegations against the central government. Sources claim that the BRS President and the Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has directed its party MPs to expose the centre's anti-people policies. The Grandmaster Anish Giri has won the Tata Steel Masters 2023, playing with a truly dominant form. Anish scored an unbeaten 88.5 over 13 to clinch the first place.
When we were reporting from that area, people were really scared. They saw these goons running all over the place, and some of these goons have been apprehended, including that Trinamool Congress leader, Guddu Khan, who is the person who is behind all this according to our local sources. There is no police in that area, and how that same person can have close photographs with one state minister and then no one has answered.
A day before the budget session, the centre calls for key meeting of all parties. A car rams into a pedestrian and flees hit and run is caught on camera. Ten students are suspended in Rajasthan allegedly after the BBC documentary screening. Condolences pour in, state honour to be given to Odisha's health minister.
Top headlines at 2 p.m. No end to controversy over blocked BBC documentary on Prime Minister Modi. PIL filed against the centre in the top corner. Shocking defence by Vadra Congress now. Congress defends Rahul Gandhi's meet with Chinese envoy during Doklam face-off. Indian citizens targeted in Melbourne. Indians with Tiranga attacked by pro-Khalistan forces. Centre calls for a crucial all-party meet ahead of the budget session. History scripted as Indian women cricket team wins inaugural Under-19 World Cup. Russia makes fresh claims on Ukraine, says it attacked hospital, claiming lives of at least 14. Thanks for tuning in. This Monday afternoon, we are live and breaking. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Our top focus this hour, the action that has been taken against the pro-Khalistan forces. We are given to understand that the Twitter handle of pro-Khalistan group Dal Khalsa has now been withheld. The account has been withheld in India in response to a legal demand that was made. Now remember, Dal Khalsa is a group of Sikh radicals and Khalistan supporters. Kanwal Pal Singh Sandhu is heading the group with demand of Sikh separate state of Khalistan by the Sikhs. So that's the latest coming in. The Twitter account of pro-Khalistan group Dal Khalsa that has now been withheld on legal demand that was made. Now, just to put this into context, Dal Khalsa is a group of Sikh radicals and Khalistan supporters known for the hate content they have been posting on their Twitter account. Well, the visuals there on your screens, in fact, that's still of the Twitter account of the Khalistan group Dal Khalsa that has now been blocked. It has now been withheld, beg your pardon. A following of 399 with followers of over 1200. So pro-Khalistan forces account that has now been held on a legal demand that was made. It is the Dal Khalsa group of Sikh radicals and Khalistan supporters, the account of the group that has now been withheld. Amandeep getting us that breaking. Amandeep, if you can give us, more details on this Twitter page of pro-Khalistan group that has now, of course, been withheld. But talk to us, the kind of hate content that has been posted by the Khalistan group on their Twitter page.
Well, absolutely, Samiksha. And in fact, Dal Khalsa is a group that was actually owned by the radicals and floating the agenda of the Khalistan from the different countries. And even now, the account has been withheld after the Indian government reported about it to take the legal action. And in fact, this account is the only account which is actually floating the agenda of Khalistan, posting the hate content and writing down against the Indian nation as well. And in fact, now the action is a clear-cut indication, Samiksha, that now Indian government is stepping up against these pro-Khalistani forces, since certain incidents has been reported online as well as offline. Just because these kind of groups has been operated from the different countries, in fact, and even Dal Khalsa is a group which was constituted in UK and headed by Kanwarpal Singh Sandhu, who's a pro-Khalistani element, and in fact they are promoting their Khalistani agenda on the Twitter account and also posting the hate speeches on their Twitter account, try to engage the maximum people through their Twitter account. And India reported about it, and soon after the report, the account was withheld by the Twitter, and in fact in India especially. But these groups are simultaneously creating more and more Twitter accounts or the social media pages or the social media accounts to float their agenda. But now the action, and this action is very much clear indication that Indian government is stepping up against these pro-Khalistani elements, and in fact now they have started taking the legal action, just because the issue is turning to be very sensitive. What had happened in Melbourne, what is happening in Canada, what is happening in US, and in fact what is happening in US, UK as well as other countries. The tricolor versus pro-Khalistani flag, this is all happening, and situation is very much visible. And even these pro-Khalistani elements are primarily float their agenda on the social media platforms, and then they try to gather the people offline as well. And even a referendum that has been called in the Melbourne, and what has happened in the Melbourne, where tricolor versus pro-Khalistani flag, and in fact what had happened on January 26 when these pro-Khalistani elements has disrespected the tricolor. These are the incidents that has been taken into a very serious note by the Indian government, and that is the reason they have started reporting about the social media accounts of these pro-Khalistani elements, so that at least their agenda should be halted at this point of time, and even there has to be some kind of barricade regarding their movement online as well as offline also. So that is the reason. And even if we talk about the history of the Dal Khalsa is a group which was actually known for its pro-Khalistani agenda, for pro-Khalistani post, and in fact the hate speeches as well. The group has handful people, but they post themselves that there are certain people who are trying to engage with them, who are try to gain the support as well. But now when account has been withheld, this is a clear-cut indication from the side of Indian government that no more hate speeches and no more pro-Khalistani activities would be tolerated,
yes,
either online or offline. Yes, Samiksha.
Amandeep, we leave it at that. Thank you so much. So that's the latest that is coming in. A mega crackdown in the country as a Twitter account of pro-Khalistan group has now been withheld. All right, to a big another news break that is just coming in, getting in reports of a massive blast that has been reported near the Peshawar police lines in Pakistan. The blast has been reported very close to a mosque. The entire area has now been cordoned off. Those are some of the details that are just trickling in. The explosion that has rocked Pakistan's Peshawar police lines area in Pakistan. We do not yet know the number of those injured or casualties, if at all, but it's being said it is a major explosion to have rocked Pakistan's Peshawar police lines area. Trying to get more details, but the first visuals there on your screens of an explosion that rocked Pakistan's Peshawar police lines very close to mosque. Entire area has now been cordoned off. Gursimran joining us for the latest on that. Gursimran, take it away. Give us more details that you're picking up on this explosion that has rocked Pakistan's Peshawar police lines area.
See, it is a couple of minutes back that this blast has taken place, and it was so massive that it was heard several kilometers from the place where it has happened. We are getting to know that the explosive was kept inside the masjid in Peshawar, and this is very next to the district police line of Peshawar, where this blast has taken off. Important to mention that this blast has been reported during the time when the namaz was going on, and all of a sudden a massive blast has taken place that shook the entire area. The number of people, those who have got injured, are said to be, the number is said to be in double digits, and there is a high possibility that many of them are feared to be dead. Samiksha, horrific images coming from the Peshawar in Pakistan. I spoke to some of the people there in Peshawar, and they said that when the namaz was going on, they heard a loud bang from very near to the district's police line, and this is in the Saad police line. Exact area is where there is a masjid, and it is believed that the explosive was kept inside the masjid, and when namaz started, then it was triggered, which led to multiple injuries, and also casualties are feared. This is earlier also we have seen similar kind of a blast taking place inside a masjid in Pakistan when the terrorists barged into the mosque during the time of namaz, and similar kind of incident has been reported today when this incident took place, an explosion taking place inside a masjid very near to the district police line in Peshawar.
Yes. Gursimran, stay with us, and just to tell our viewers also the latest that we are picking up, the visuals there on your screens of a mega explosion that has rocked Peshawar area in Pakistan. We are yet to know if there are any casualties, if any, but Gursimran telling us that initial reports indicate that there are casualties. There could be casualties in this mega explosion, the blast that has rocked Peshawar area very close to a mosque location in Pakistan. Yet to get more details. In fact, more details are just coming in that the blast happened during the prayers that were being held at this mosque in Pakistan's Peshawar area. The first videos that are now emerging from the blast site, you do not yet know what exactly was the cause of this blast or who could be behind this blast, but mosque walls that have blown up as a result of the major explosion that has rocked Pakistan's Peshawar area. Gursimran continues to be with us. Gursimran, for our viewers who are just tuning in, once again, if you can take it away, give us more details as to at what time was this blast reported, casualties and injuries in this blast that is known so far.
Samiksha, this is in the Saad Peshawar district line where this incident has been reported. This was inside the mosque when the Zuhur prayers, that is namaz, was going on. Then all of a sudden a massive blast has taken place. Soon after the blast, the security forces cordoned the entire area. We are getting to know that the number of injuries is in double digits. So does the figure of the casualties, the people, those who are feared to be dead. However, there is no official number that is being given by the authorities. But this is a major blast that has taken place very near to the district police line in Peshawar. We are also being told that an emergency has been declared in all the nearby hospitals in the Peshawar, which clearly means that the number of injured in this terror blast that has taken place, which what it seems is an act of terror, could go into almost 3 digits as well. The way emergency has been declared in all the nearby hospitals of the Peshawar city. Apart from that, the senior officers from the Peshawar, they have also reached the spot, as this was very near to the district police line where the namaz was going on, the Zuhur namaz that was happening at the time when blast took off. However, more details are yet awaited, but the sketchy details that we are picking up, that the number of people who have got injured is in double digit, and many of them are feared to be dead.
All right, Gursimran, of course, stay with us. Telling our viewers also who are just tuning in, these are the first videos that are emerging from the Peshawar area in Pakistan, where a blast rocked the location. In fact, we're given to understand that the blast happened inside the mosque while the prayers were ongoing at this particular mosque. It is said that there could be casualties in this blast, which seems of a high intensity. We do not yet know what exactly was the cause of this blast, who could be behind the blast, or what exactly was the motive behind this blast. But the visuals indicate that there has been extensive damage as a result of the blast which has rocked the location. Seems like a terror attack in a mosque in Peshawar area, very close to a mosque. The blast was reported while the prayers were ongoing. It is even being said, as per initial reports, that there could be casualties and there are people who've been injured as a result of this mega explosion that has rocked this particular location. But the visuals there on your screens that show the scenes from outside the mosque where the blast was reported. You can see the people there being running helter-skelter just after that blast that happened in Peshawar area, very close to the police lines in Peshawar area, and inside the mosque, what we're given to understand, the walls of the mosque were blown up as a result of the major big intensity blast that rocked the location. Well, we'll try and get a voice from Pakistan as well to get more details, but initial details are just trickling in that an emergency has been declared in the area. It's been cordoned off completely. The visuals there that show the police officials there on the job trying to cordon off the area after right after this blast. So looks like a terror blast from what we are getting to know as per initial reports. But those are continuously putting out the first visuals and videos that we've been getting from the blast site in Peshawar. We're given to understand that the blast was reported just a couple of minutes back. The blast that was reported inside the mosque while the prayers were ongoing. The visuals on the left hand side show the people being taken, the injured being taken for further treatment outside the mosque. Panic-stricken people running helter-skelter. Gursimran continues to be with us. Gursimran, for our viewers, once again, if you can put this into context, when exactly was this reported? Number of casualties, those injured, anything known, specific number that is known so far?
See, we are getting to know that more than half a dozen people have been injured in the blast that has taken place. These are the sketchy details that we are getting to know as of now. This is an off-record data that has been shared, and an emergency has been sounded in all the hospitals across the Peshawar. This means that the number of the people injured could go up. Like earlier, I was saying that the number is in double digit. We are getting the confirmation that the number is more than 1.5 dozen. That means more than 18 people have been injured in this blast that has
stay with us. Hold your thoughts while you gather more information. We have Major Gaurav Arya also joining us. Major Gaurav Arya, what is your reading of this, what it looks like a terror attack inside a mosque in Peshawar area of Pakistan, very close to the police lines, and initial reports indicate that this looks like a terror attack?
No, absolutely. If it's in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, there is nothing which is not a terror attack. And also the fact that because it is near the police lines, which means that a lot of police people must be going and worshipping there in the mosque. And obviously the answer is to target the police, because the mosque is not so well guarded, but the police lines would be guarded. So if it is near the police line, as you say, the idea would have been to target Khyber Pakhtunkhwa police. That's number one. Number two, you are aware and everybody is aware that the TTP has declared war on the state of Pakistan. And the Baloch freedom fighters have also joined hands with the TTP. So I think it's dark days ahead for Pakistan, and this is just in a series of blasts that will continue, unfortunately, because Pakistan has sowed the seed of hatred.
Stay with us, Major Gaurav Arya, and for our viewers also, if you can help explain this to us better about what has been happening in Pakistan, particularly in terms of the face-off between the TTP and the Pakistan government. All right, we try and get Major Gaurav Arya back, but continuously putting out those videos, the first visuals that we are getting. Major Gaurav Arya, if you can hear us, if you can talk to us more about, what has been happening in Pakistan when we talk about this face-off, the feud, which has only been getting worse between the TTP leaders and the Pakistan government. All right, we seem to have lost that connection with Major Gaurav Arya, but Gursimran, of course, continues to be with us. Gursimran, as we were just talking to Major Gaurav Arya, talk to us about the havoc that is being wrought across the country, especially by the TTP leaders in Pakistan.